Right now, as you're watching this, planet Earth is spinning at over 1,600 kilometers per hour at the equator. That's faster than the speed of sound. We don't feel it, of course, because everything around us, the atmosphere, the oceans, the ground beneath our feet is moving along with us. It's a delicate, silent dance that has defined life for billions of years. But what if, in a single, terrifying instant, the music stopped? What if the Earth suddenly stopped spinning? In just minutes, the world as we know it would be annihilated, changing forever. Let's break down, scientifically, what that catastrophic day would look like. The moment Earth's rotation ceases, inertia takes over. While the planet itself has stopped, everything on its surface, you, me, buildings, oceans, and trees would continue moving eastward at that incredible speed. Imagine being in a car that slams on the brakes. Now imagine that on a planetary scale. Anything not anchored to bedrock would be violently flung across the landscape, becoming a projectile in a global disaster. Cities would be scoured from the face of the Earth, torn from their foundations and reduced to rubble in mere seconds. This isn't an earthquake, it's a planet-wide shockwave, a total and complete obliteration of the surface. At the same time, the atmosphere, which was also moving at over 1,600 kilometers per hour, would keep going. This would create winds more powerful than any hurricane or tornado ever recorded. These hyper-hurricanes would circle the globe, generating unimaginable friction and heat. They would strip the topsoil from continents, flatten entire forests, and erase coastlines in a single, brutal gust. The very air we breathe would become a weapon of mass destruction, scouring the planet's surface clean. The sky itself would become a deadly force, reshaping the world below it. While the land is being devastated, the oceans would react just as violently. Earth's rotation currently causes a slight bulge of water around the equator due to centrifugal force. Without that spin, gravity would take sole command. Trillions of tons of water would surge away from the equator and rush toward the poles. This would trigger the largest tsunamis in history, waves so massive they would wash over entire continents. Two new megaoceans would form at the poles, while a single supercontinent of dry, barren land would emerge around the equator. Earth's geography, the familiar map we all know, would be redrawn permanently in a matter of hours. If you somehow survived all of that, you'd face a new, relentless challenge. Without rotation, the concept of a day and night would stretch into an eternity. One side of the Earth would face the sun for 6 straight months, while the other would be plunged into a 6-month-long night. Temperatures would swing to unimaginable extremes. The sun-facing side would become a scorching desert, with temperatures hot enough to boil water and bake the land dry. Meanwhile, the dark side would become a frozen wasteland, colder than the most frigid Arctic night. Life would be trapped between fire and ice. Deep within the planet, another critical system would begin to fail. Earth's rotation is a key driver of the convection currents in its liquid outer core, which generates our protective magnetic field. If the planet stopped spinning, this dynamo would weaken and eventually shut down. Without the magnetic field shielding us, we would be exposed to the full, deadly force of solar radiation and cosmic rays. Our satellites would be fried, communication systems would collapse, and the very fabric of our technological world would unravel. Life on the surface would be bombarded by particles from space, with no defense. Even though gravity itself wouldn't disappear, the planet's fundamental balance would be gone. Earth isn't a perfect sphere, it bulges slightly at the equator because of its spin. Without that spin, gravity would slowly pull the planet into a more perfect spherical shape. This gradual reshaping would put immense stress on the tectonic plates. The result? Unprecedented geological chaos. Massive, world-shattering earthquakes would ripple across the globe, and volcanoes would erupt on a scale never before seen. The ground itself would be in a constant state of violent upheaval, making any chance of rebuilding impossible. So, could any life survive this planetary apocalypse? It's highly unlikely for complex life. Human civilization would be completely wiped out in the first few minutes, but some life might find a way, extremophile bacteria living deep underground or near hydrothermal vents at the bottom of the newly formed oceans might endure. They are shielded from the surface chaos and don't rely on sunlight. But for everything else, plants that depend on daily light cycles, animals that need stable climates, and ecosystems built on millennia of balance, it would be the end. The great chain of life would be broken. Now for the good news. This scenario is purely a thought experiment. For the Earth to suddenly stop spinning, it would require an unimaginable amount of energy, far more than any known cosmic event could deliver. No asteroid impact, no nearby stellar explosion, not even a rogue black hole could exert the kind of force needed to halt our planet's momentum so abruptly. The laws of physics make this scenario virtually impossible. Our planet's spin is one of the most stable forces in our cosmic neighborhood. But what if the Earth stops slowly, over millions of years? That's a more plausible, though still improbable, scenario. In that case, life might have a chance to adapt. The days and nights would gradually get longer, weather patterns would slowly shift, and ecosystems would evolve to cope with the new reality. Animals and plants could migrate and change over generations. But the end result would be the same, a planet with a 6-month day and a 6-month night, with extreme temperatures and a vastly different geography. It would still become a very different, and likely much harsher, world. Earth's spin is one of the silent, fundamental forces that makes our world a haven for life. We go about our days without ever giving it a second thought, but its steady, reliable rhythm governs everything from our weather to the length of our days. It's a perfect and fragile balance. Imagining a world without it shows just how remarkable our planet truly is. Thanks for watching. For more mind-bending science and what-if scenarios, make sure to subscribe.